Wealth Principle 49. Seek to understand, then to be understood. And it's Dr. Terry Wager. Your take, actually, is Ryan in here? Because sometimes he's got soccer with the kids. All right, go ahead. Dr. Terry Wager, you're up.
Yeah, seek to understand rather than be understood. I actually had a situation this morning where somebody reached out to me asking me if I was a coach. And I was like, yeah, among other things, are you full-time? Yeah. And then they asked me, oh, well, do you want to work with this coach from Canada? She's really good and she can increase your income. And just went straight into telling me that I should work with this coach. And I went through the conversation and I was trying to figure out what their deal was, because if they're a bird dog or going out doing some kind of outreach to get people, I might want to work with that person. So I'm trying to actually ask him questions about what he's doing. And he's just sitting there telling me, well, why don't you want to make more money? And I was like, okay, I'm very uninterested in that coach, and I'm very uninterested in you working for me too, as a result of this conversation. And it is exactly because he did not seek to understand. And I mean, how many people know that I'm a little bit on social media? I mean, I am not Walter, of course, but I'm a little bit on social media, and it's very
You're getting started, Terry. You're getting started.
I'm getting started. But it's very easy to see that I'm out there, and so he could see very quickly with just a cursory view of what I do that I have some kind of success. And so he could have come ask me questions, come ask me what my issues are, what I'm struggling with, but instead he just went and pushed. And this is one of the biggest problems that I see people do in sales, is they start thinking about what they're doing instead of what I might be needing as a customer. And so when we're looking at seek to understand rather than be understood, it's all about being able to do some kind of discovery, gathering information from a place of service. How can I help? What is going on with you? Where are your gaps? What else is going on? And a lot of people are like, well, but I'm buying houses, so that doesn't work. Those people with houses have problems. When you, as a buyer of a house, as a wholesaler, or as a buy and hold type person that's trying to get places off market, those are the same things that you want to ask them. You want to find out where they're at. You want to be friends with them, not too much friends, but enough friendly with them to be able to get that information so that you can really be of service to them instead of just shoot them with darts that they're going to want to hang up on you. And so that's my idea about the seek to be understood, or seek to understand rather than be understood. You really want to do that.
Let's give Dr. Terry Wager a round of applause. If anybody knows sales, it's Dr. Terry. He's been in it. And we've got somebody else on the call who's crushing sales, Doug McGurk. Give us your feedback on Wealth Principle 49.
Well, all right. So, obviously brilliant, everyone here, as always. And what you'll learn on Monday and at Masters of Influence is a key principle of NLP, which is communication is how it is received, not its intent. And this is a very powerful distinction, because when you're seeking to understand rather than be understood, you are actually priming the conversation for being understood by proxy, by doing your best to understand, because it's how that is received. And how many have experienced something that Terry just shared, where someone has just kind of dove right into sales and you're like, well, you don't even know you have a very peripheral idea of what I do, but not who I am. How many have actually gotten, but even worse than that, the cut and paste email from LinkedIn or messages, just basically saying, hey, here's what I'll do for you. And it's like, why do you even think I need that? Like, you didn't even, what were you reading? So it's super powerful to really connect with other human beings, and that's how you create incredible business. Because in today's, especially for entrepreneurs, for those of us who we've all had or may still have JOBs, what happens? We end up being family with the people we work with. We have these strong relationships, and that's why sometimes it's hard to leave a job, because it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna leave someone out on a lurch, or I love them and I want to hang out with them, and it's become a second family. So that's where this community is so powerful, and creating family of people who understand each other, who support each other. Because if everyone were to seek to understand rather than be understood, wouldn't we all by proxy be understood?
Mic drop.
Magic. Yeah. Imagine how that happens. And then the last thing, just to leave with, couldn't be more spot on with building those relationships. Connect with people who their normal is what you aspire to, and that has been the guiding principle for my entire life since I was about 17. Is, man, if I'm the smartest person in the room, I need a new room. If I'm the most creative, if I'm the funniest, then I'm just in the wrong room. So challenge yourself to greatness, and easiest way to do that is in the book of the week.
Let's give Doug McGurk a round of applause. If you are the smartest person in the room, if you are the richest person in the room, you might be in the wrong room. If you're the richest person in the room and you're looking for people to do work for you, you might be in the right room. So if you are, but you've got to be in a room of opposites, right? I don't want to be the richest guy in the room if I'm looking for money. And I don't want to be the hardest working person in the room if I'm looking for hard workers, right? If I'm looking for money, I want to be the hardest working person in the room. If I'm looking for work and labor, I want to be the richest guy in the room. Does that make sense? But I don't want to be the person who has a supply of what everybody else has a supply of. I want to be in the opposite room. If there's a lack of supply, I want to go fill that supply. Does that make sense? When we're seeking the people, because you can use these strategies and principles, the NLP you're going to learn with Doug on Monday night, or at the 3-day event in Orlando, which, by the way, hands to the camera if you're going to Orlando with us in 3 weeks. Hell yeah, I will see you at Master of Influence. So the things you're going to learn there, you could use this with a janitor in a school, or you could use this with a CEO of a company. Results will be very different. Does that make sense? Regrasp, they're still going to like you one way or the other, but the person that you go and build relationships with is going to change your trajectory in life. So you've got to choose them wisely. Mitch Jorsky, you're up.
I don't have a rap quote for you, Walter.
Come on, man. What about Ryan's not here? I need a Wu-Tang quote.
Yeah, see, my inspiration's not here. Without Ryan, the power's gone. No, I have no rap quote to fit today's thing. I don't know if they talk much about selling, but maybe they do because they're trying to sell records. Anyway, everything that you talk about and teach every week, I think is seen through the perspective, the lens of each person, right? So like Terry and Doug just talked, and the way they see that and what they share is a little different than the way I see it, because both Terry and Doug are very good at listening and are very good at selling. I openly admit that I'm a bit of a talker, being an I, and I'm not a huge fan of selling. Like, it's something I'm working on. So with that said, basically, to flip the other side, there was the chatter about how like some people just like right away, like trying to like sell you something, it's just like, oh yeah, I got this. Da, 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 da. Well, there's the flip side of, you listen to what someone's needs are, but then you do need to move forward. And if you have a product, or if you have a service, or if you know someone that can help them serve them, you need to make sure that you get that information out there. You need to make sure you basically, ask, AKA make the sale. You know what I mean? And there's obviously 8,000 different methods to do that, all of which Doug, I'm sure, is going to talk about at Master of Influence, because it's not even just about, quote unquote, like making the pitch. It's also about the way you present it, and even some of the words you use, which are a lot more powerful than you think, because I'm sure there's other people in this room that often feel misunderstood, or often feel they could have said something better, or presented something better. And in the end, even if you're just in a random conversation with something and you have something that can help them, and it seems like it's not all that serious, a lot of times you still walk away and you're like, oh, I should have said X. Well, let Doug give you those tools so you don't walk away saying, I should have said X. Because speaking from experience, that's really annoying when it happens. And it happens probably more often than you think for a lot of people in this room. So, yeah, first listen, but then don't forget to help the person by delivering what it is that they need. If you have what it is that they need. Walter Roy says this. What is it? It's unethical for me not to deliver what they need if I have it to offer. So,
wow.
Anyway,
you didn't do a rap quote. You did a Walter quote, man. Let's give Miss Jorsky a round of applause.
made up for it. See what happened?
Double the applause.
That's next level, man.
I would love to say I did that on purpose, but I kind of stumbled into it.
Don't ever admit that.
True.
Awesome. All right, I want to open it up to questions. Let's see. Yeah, let's open up questions. I see a couple of my friends on the call.